Hello and welcome to Villa View. I'm Paul Bradley and I'm joined on the phone now by Aston Villa correspondent Matt Kendrick. Hi Matt.
Hello there.
Well, we're going to take a look back at at Villa's start to the season today, Matt. And first of all, open question to you: what's your verdict on how Alex McLeish has fared in the first few games?
Well, I think it's fair to say it's been a mixed start to the season. You can't knock the fact that Villa have gone unbeaten in 7 games in the league. That's pretty good going in a very competitive Premier League. And just glancing at the table shows you that they're 7th in the table as well, which again represents a very productive start. Of course, those stats don't necessarily tell the entire story. Some of the football at times has been frustrating. But there's been signs, particularly during the Wigan game, on the most recent game on Saturday, that if you can get the attacking players and the creative players firing, then he has the basis of a strong team that can compete in the top half of the table this season.
Some of the Villa fans, though, some of the more critical Villa fans may say that Villa should really have started better. If you look at some of their results, for example, QPR, the Wolves game, the Bolton in the Cup, some of those Villa fans would be saying, well, draws at home and defeats in the Cup, that's pretty bad news for Villa.
No, I think Alex McLeish should be the first one to admit that Villa could have done better. We've done a story with him saying that he's greedy and he wants more. I know that the Cup defeat particularly did hurt a lot of Villa fans, and rightly so, because there's not that many things that Villa can enter and win nowadays. You'd say that the Premier League title would be a big ask. So the 2 domestic cups are probably about it at the moment, and to lose one of those, to go out of one of those at home with a whimper was particularly frustrating, particularly galling. But like I said, I think the home form again is a major factor as well. I think with all respect to teams like Wolves, when they come to Villa Park, you should be looking to win games like that. And arguably teams like Newcastle as well, although Newcastle obviously have had a very strong start to the season themselves. So I don't think anybody would admit that everything's rosy in the garden, but there's certainly a platform to try and kick on during the next phase of games.
Some Villa fans are going to be looking at probably McLeish throughout the season and looking for reasons to jump on his back, as it were. What's McLeish going to have to do to keep fans happy throughout this season? Is there a simple answer to that?
Win football matches, I think, is a simple answer. I think they've just got to try and get some momentum now. They've got this victory after 4 straight draws. And I think it's easier said than done when your next game is Manchester City away. But if we put that game to one side for a minute, I think they play West Brom, Sunderland, Norwich. I think there's 3 games after that. So Villa have got to try and get some momentum, try and get a winning run going. That's the only thing that's going to keep the fans off McLeish's back and get the fans behind players. Is winning football. So they can score goals and play some exciting stuff like they did against Wigan along the way. And I think that's the best hope.
Okay, now moving on and taking a look at McLeish's signings so far this season. Let's get your verdict on those. Let's start with the big money signing, Charles N'Zogbia. What have we made of him so far?
Well, I don't think I'm giving away any trade secrets when I say that he's not the player that Villa hoped and thought they'd signed. Let's hope it's just a confidence thing and it's a matter of him finding his feet and settling in. He seems to be struggling to adjust with life at a bigger club. And also there's been some noises from him about him preferring to play out wide on the right. McLeish has answered that by saying, without doing it in an aggressive way, he said, you'll play where you picked. And I think the message to N'Zogbia is if he wants to play wide on the right, then on the occasions when he's given that role, he's got to really shine and make it his own. So I wouldn't write N'Zogbia off. He's a quality player. He's proven in the Premier League. He's played at this level and he's excelled at this level for several seasons. So hopefully Villa can find a system that suits him and he can show the Villa fans exactly what he's made of.
And just briefly a word on Shay Given, who's had a fantastic start to his Villa career, really.
He's been wonderful, yeah. I don't think there's too many people who are missing Brad Friedel now, because Shay Given has been a more than adequate replacement for him. He doesn't have much to do during many games because Villa's back four's been so strong and so well drilled. But when he does, you never feel troubled. When he comes for crosses, you're always confident he's going to come and get them. Any shots that come anywhere near the Villa goal, you're confident you're going to get them as well. I think it's been a really, really astute piece of business by Villa. Obviously, they've given him a 5-year contract, so the big challenge for him is to maintain that form for the next 5 years. But he certainly started in a very exciting way.
Sure, and those just the 5 goals conceded by Aston Villa so far this season in the Premier League, one of the top 3 defensive records, obviously reflects that prowess in goal for him. But moving on now to the two players who came in from Tottenham Hotspur, Hutton and Jenas. Just quickly again, your views on them and how you see it panning out over the coming months, their careers.
Well, Jenas, obviously we've not seen him play yet. I think he's only trained a couple of times as well. So my impression of him, he spoke very well at his press conference, and he seemed very determined to try and make an impact at Villa. Now we're hearing he's out for another month now with an Achilles problem. So you just hope he gets himself sorted. But I'm quite excited about seeing what he has to offer. But obviously that's a major disappointment that he's not did any games yet. Another one who I think there's plenty of room for improvement. Could have given away 3 penalties in recent weeks with a couple of handballs at QPR and that foul against Wigan. But I think another one who's going to benefit from a run of games. He seems a bit rusty to me in some of his decision making. But he's a quality player. He was signed for £9 million from Spurs, and he was known as this kind of forward-thinking right-back. So I think given time and giving him a chance to settle into his new surroundings, I've got high hopes for him as well, but he hasn't quite made it there yet. Okay,
and just finally, a word on the Agbon, Lahore and Bent partnership. It looks like it's going to flourish for Aston Villa this season. Is that something that McLeish is going to stick with, do you think?
I mean, McLeish's got this phrase, horses for courses. He'll pick depending on the opposition. Now, Agbon, Lahore and Bent, they look brilliant together against Wigan, but then again, it's against Wigan. Whether he'll be bold enough to go with 2 strikers up front away at Manchester City, I'm not necessarily sure. But yeah, Agbon Lahore has been like a man possessed in recent weeks. It's well documented that he didn't get on with the previous manager, but this manager seems to have done something to reignite him, really. It's not just the pace that he's renowned for. He seems to have more of an all-round game now. His hold-up play, his use of the ball, his decision-making, his passing, and just the way he played against Wigan on Saturday, you'd think that he's kind of a dead cert to be in the next England squad if he's fit. As well, it's good to see Ben score his first goal in front of the Holt end. If you can get those 2 firing, you've got a solid back 4, then perhaps Villa can achieve more than a lot of people have given them hope of doing this season.
OK, Matt, well, thank you for your thoughts on Aston Villa's season so far. We'll be back again next week with more Villa View.